Now I would like to introduce you to today's speaker, Greg Gunderson. Greg Gunderson is the owner and president of Gentle Transitions of California. Inspired by his mother, Greg continues to help seniors struggling with the unique challenge associated with moving. Greg has received recognition for his work and has been featured in Good Housekeeping magazine, CNN, the Los Angeles Times, Money Magazine, and Entrepreneur Magazine. Greg, thank you for coming today. We are all very interested in this topic.
Actually, very few people are aware of an entire new industry called senior relocation services. And as Jody was nice enough to mention, I actually have one of the oldest companies anywhere in the country. It's called Gentle Transitions, and our mission, as well as other senior relocation providers, is to ease the relocation process for older adults and their families. Part is when it's done. And in my nearly 20 years of helping seniors move, I've yet to come across a client who enjoys moving. Now, on occasion, I've had a client who says, I'm really looking forward to my move. But I know darn well what they really mean is, I'm looking forward to already being moved and set up in my new place. And really, when it comes to moving, moving is challenging for anyone of any age. 35, 55, 85, it doesn't really matter. It's a challenge for anyone. And it's really one of life's most difficult experiences, along with job change, divorce, loss of a spouse, and of course moving. But moving for seniors or older adults is particularly troublesome. And I'd like to share with you today what I call are the 4 major challenges for seniors or older adults when contemplating a move. Number 1. Almost always when older adults move, they're leaving a home after many years. 10, 20, 30, 40 years or more. In fact, I'd like to do a little survey. Can I have a show of hands? People who have been in their homes for less than 10 years. Less than 10 years. Okay, a few. How about 10 to 20 years? That's me, 17 years for me. Okay. How about 20 to 30 years? A few. How about more than 30 years? Wow. Okay, how about more than 40 years? Oh, looks like the same group. Anyone more than 50 years? Which would be 1960 or before, because I turned 50 this year. Anyone more than 60 years? Okay, so but a good half dozen or more that have been in your homes for 50 years. And I don't need to tell you folks, or really the rest of you, that leaving a home after that length of time, it's more than just a physical change of place. It's an emotional experience. It's where the kids grew up, where family events took place. Many of my clients comment to me, the only way I was ever going to leave my home, feet first. I'd actually never planned to walk out of my house. So they tell me it's a big deal. So that's one of the major challenges older adults face when moving. Secondly, almost always when older adults move, they're moving from a larger place to a smaller one, which frankly requires making a decision about every personal possession in a house. Garden tools in the garage, family photos in the den, china and crystal in the dining room, toiletries under the bathroom sink. And for most people, this aspect alone is enough to put off making a move. And for that reason, we have a whole presentation here about downsizing. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Third challenge for older adults when facing a move is usually they're facing some kind of health issues. Now, I'm not talking about serious ones. I'm talking about maybe our back doesn't work like it used to. Maybe our stamina today isn't what it was just a few years ago. I think we all know that moving takes stamina. So that makes moving challenging for older adults. And the final challenge older adults face when moving is what I call limited availability of family to help with the move. And nowadays family is not across the street or across town. They're across the state, across the country, across the world. Or if they are here and local, they're usually busy with dual careers, getting kids out to soccer, and the pace of life as we know it. And I'd like you to hold up your card, green or red, showing us what you think we should do with that particular item. Are you ready to play?
Yes.
Okay. All right, my first item for your consideration is this gray marble cylinder. If you think this would be something good to take to a new place, or to keep if you're downsizing, please hold up now either your green cards for keep or your red cards for stop. Lots of red cards. Lots of red cards. I do see a couple green cards over here. Any particular reason? We like, what was that? We like wine. You know what? It is in fact, and you're one of the first to ever get it right from the get-go, it is in fact a wine cooler. And since you must use the product, I have some wine for you folks to take home. Now typically, and I've had groups this size before, and I've stumped everyone, and they have never known that it's a wine cooler. They think it's a pencil holder, or kitchen utensil holder, or vase, and it maybe could be all those things, but it is in fact a wine cooler. Every item has a story. This one does too. And this came from the cabinet over the refrigerator at my house. And I was up there one day. My wife wanted me to get a salad bowl or a punch bowl. And I came across this, and I had no earthly clue what it was myself. So that brings us to our first downsizing tip of the day. Downsizing tip number 41. If you don't know what something is, like the wine cooler, or like this photograph, if you haven't used it in a very long time, then that something does not move. Moving's not easy. I'm not going to tell you that it is, but I am going to tell you with absolute, complete, 100% certainty, it's totally, completely doable. This is my father with my nephew. He's been at a retirement community now for 5 or 6 years. And I can tell you that I've seen, and I know the staff have seen as well, when they see their residents move in here, actually they see many people actually feel revitalized by making a move, by new surroundings, by new people. Many people look and feel much younger, and I've seen that with many of my clients. And actually many clients have come in to me, as I'm sure they have to Jody, many wish they had done it sooner. But they did it because they were so overwhelmed by the complexity and the idea of downsizing and so much stuff and not knowing where to begin. So hopefully I've shared with you some ideas and actually maybe some motivation that it is doable.